Shalom. Thank you all for joining me on this great live video from ULPAN Bertare. So in the last 24 hours, all of the internet was talking about Natalie Portman's Hebrew lesson that she shot for Vanity Fair. And to be honest, it's amazing because Natalie Portman, she studied at the Hebrew U and she has a great accent in Hebrew, and we're all very, very proud. But, there's always something that bothers us when people are not being very, very accurate. And like Natalie Portman, like the whole thing with the video, she presented like Hebrew slang such as a basa and ben zona, which means son of a bitch, and all kind of like cool Hebrew slang that she wanted to teach the world, and it was very, very cool and nice. And one of them was balagan, and everyone that get to Israel knows that balagan means a mess or chaos, and we use it in a context like as a balagan, or wow, is a balagan, and etc. etc. Natalie Portman said in her video that balagan is like the word balcony because there's a mess in the balcony. Well, it's correct, but it's actually not so correct, because if we look at the history of the word balagan first of all comes from Persian, and in Persian it meant some sort of an addict, like an addict at a house that is made out of wood, and from there we came the word balcony, because balcony also is made out of wood. So in that context, she's right. However, in the context of chaos, it's incorrect, because from Persian the word balagan went to Turkish and then to Russian. And in Russian, in the 18th and 19th century, there were street shows made out of like clowns and actors, and in those shows there was like a stage and a storage made out of wood, and that was called balagan. And because there was a mess in that storage, because they would throw in all the clothes and all the stuff, the balagan got another meaning other than a wooden like a wooden storage place, but also chaos. And the new Jewish immigrants that came to Israel brought that meaning to here, a meaning of chaos and of a mess. So when Natalie Portman said that balagan is like balcony because there's a mess in the balcony, it's not so accurate, because balagan in the meaning of a mess and a chaos, it comes from Russian, from those street fairs, and because there was in the storage was balagan, and not because balagan is like a balcony, like in old Persian. So, it's very, very interesting, and it's very, very it's honorable for us, for people who teach Hebrew, that people, like megastars like Natalie Portman embrace the Hebrew language and bring it. But if you want to be accurate next time, balagan comes from the balagan in the meaning of a mess comes from Russian in the 18th and 19th century, where it was used to a storage place where there was a mess in it, and from there it came to Hebrew. Many of my students come and tell me that it comes from Yiddish. Well, that's incorrect also. So next time you hear balagan, it comes from Persian to Turkish to Russian. In Russian, it got the meaning of a mess and a chaos, and then it came to Hebrew. So Yeah, I hope you learned something about balagan. That balagan comes from Russian, and I hope you're gonna use it and you're gonna explain your friends מה זה בלאגן, so we're not gonna have בלאגן in the meaning. תודה רבה, להתראות.